increasingly affect livability due to the fact that 2/3 of the world's population will be living in urban centres by the year 2050. And this increased urbanisation will result in more pollution, reduced access to the natural environment, and the effects of urban heat islands.
Oh wow, that sounds very concerning. Do you think people are worried about this?
People have been really showing their concern.
Oh, that was really interesting to see how concerned people are. Do you think that there's a way that we can measure the consequences of these effects?
Actually, some of my friends are working on a project in the city of Bendigo.
Oh, Bendigo, isn't that one of the fastest growing regional cities in Victoria?
Exactly, and that's what makes it such a susceptible place to these problems. They're using spatial AI to derive metrics of livability and pinpoint areas that can be improved.
Wow, how do I learn more about this project?
Come meet my friends.
So, what are these livability factors that you're analysing?
It includes tree view factor, and let's go outside and Shalaka will explain more about it.
Building view factor is the proportion of buildings with respect to the sky view factor and the tree view factor.
In case building view factor promotes urban heat islands, however, right proportion of these factors will provide shaded areas for pedestrians.
Achieving the right balance of these factors is very important to promote well-being in a city. Sky view factor is the amount of continuous sunlight that can reach the ground. This also plays an important role in determining the thermal comfort of the population. Spatial AI will help us determine the adequate sky view factor that is required for good comfort. This factor is very important when it comes to vulnerable population like children and elderly people from extreme heat.
The existence of vegetation and green features in urban area will improve the quality of life. This factor will also promote more outdoor activities and would contribute to enhance the overall aesthetics of the city. Accessibility is the ease in which essential facilities such as medical and education services can be accessed.
Spatial AI will not only help us determine the physical distances to these features, but will also help us measure the pleasantness of the route to encourage walkability.
Meet our deep learning specialist, Oscar.
Hi Oscar. It's clear that there's a lot of information out there from satellite imagery, aero photos and Google Street View, but is it possible to harness this big data into scientifically robust metrics?
Yeah, so with this project specifically, we would be using Google Street Views instead of satellite imagery. And the reason we use Google Street View and satellite imageries is because it gives us, I guess, a more human view of the street, which allows us to get more detailed sort of analysis, and it allows us to get more features that could be gathered. For example, with trees, if you get from satellite imagery, it's just the top of the tree, whereas if Google Street View, you can get the details of which areas are shaded, which areas have shadows, which areas don't have trees at all. And so typically what you do is you get all the Google Street View images, you would stitch them together to become a panoramic. You would then put them in a cylinder, you would then use a hemispherical projection, and then you would then project that into a fisheye image. And the reason you do that is to capture what a human would see across the street. And so what this allows us then to do is we will be using deep learning methods, specifically convolution neural networks. And convolution neural networks is basically just, I guess, a simulation of the human brain. And so what we would do is we would look at these fisheye images and we would segment the images into the specific metrics and features, and then we would derive percentage values which allow us to quantify these metrics. So specifically in this image here, what we see is that we would have a lot of urban greenery in this image, and this means that this area has a lot more urban greenery. It means there could be more thermal comfort, which means it promotes more exercise within that area, and it also means that this could promote overall health and well-being. And then once we've done this for all the images across the city of Bendigo, we can then map the distribution of all these areas with greenery to see which areas have higher greenery, which areas have lower greenery, and this allows decision makers at Bendigo to improve the livability. Something worth pursuing because we can monitor the negative effects of urbanization.
Spatial AI technology has great utility in streamlining the process of obtaining scientifically robust data, which can be used by planners to improve the livability of Bendigo.